You little velvet shadow. You have the prettiest twitching nose I've seen all week. Remember carving out that little smoke signal platform? It felt like the very cornerstone of our little kingdom. Alas, this wretched earth. I feel like the current itself has trapped me in a muddy snare. Pip the giraffe just watched me, as if to say, "You're stuck, Robinson," just like that broken timepiece. Look at Bruno wandering through the ferns like he owns all the sunshine. Such gentle eyes, friend, like polished river stones. This sunshine feels like spilled honey across the sand, making me want to dance right out into the surf. I wonder if the tide will bring any useful driftwood in by dusk. Look at that crab scuttling near the tide line. Little fellow, you move with such determined purpose. Sky is weeping down upon us today, washing the colors right out of everything like old watercolor. Hope this drizzle doesn't spoil the fresh pile of kindling I just stacked over here. Such a heavy curtain the sky has drawn, making the whole jumble look like deep emerald ink. I must get back to securing the roof before this soaking lasts too long. Last night I dreamt the notches on that big rock just kept appearing, like invisible rain falling one by one. I kept trying to count them, tracing the lines with my finger until my knuckle ached. Then Ziggy wandered by, his velvet coat catching the moonlight, and he nudged the rock gently with his nose. In the dream, I felt an odd pull, and I carved one notch right next to the others just for him. The moment my blade touched the stone, the whole dreamy scene dissolved into the scent of salt spray and wet earth. Hot sun beats down like a blacksmith's hammer, really beating the life out of a man, doesn't it? Wilson, you think even the ocean needs a break from all this relentless blue glare? Over yonder, the palm fronds catch the light like shattered jade mosaics against the deep sapphire of the sea. I bet I could fashion a proper little awning with some of those sturdy bits. When I was first making that fire, it wasn't just about the flames, you know. I remember the first time the smoke curled up, thin and blue against the vast, indifferent sky. It felt like I was coaxing a trapped spirit out of the damp wood, begging it to live. Then, when it finally caught, and the whole heap suddenly roared to life, it was a sound like 100 tiny trumpets going off at once. I jumped up and just started spinning, shouting until my throat was raw, convinced I had tamed something primal and magnificent. That smoky scent of burning cedar still brings a tear to my eye sometimes. Imagine the satisfying thunk of those coconuts stacking neatly up by the main fire pit, a little monument to sheer stubborn effort. Crimson pigment on the shell pile makes it look like a tiny, perfect mosaic, almost fit for a grand hall entrance. Little lizard darting near the roots, you move like a streak of burnt orange sunlight across the damp earth. The way a jumble smells right after a warm breeze, it reminds me of that time I washed ashore. A mix of salt and sweet, rotting mango. I think I'll start weaving the biggest leaves together today, making enough for a proper, buoyant canopy. Milo just watched me, his massive head tilting as if considering the structural integrity of my grand design. Observe those two fox dancing through the white powder, a dizzying, feisty ballet on the frosted ground. They are having quite the dramatic disagreement, I'd wager. See this little cottage, standing so solid against this white curtain. It'll keep out the chill better than any passing cloud, Wilson. Honestly, this falling snow makes the whole island look like powdered sugar spilled across a giant, forgotten cake. Coco, look at you trotting through this white fluff. You seem quite unfazed by the chill, friend. Brilliant. This powdery blanket muffles the sound like a prayer whispered in a cathedral. I wonder if the deep ocean keeps a proper dusting of snow when the storm passes. Little Oscar, you creep through this powder like a statue carved from cool moonlight. You look awfully comfortable in this white blanket. Over yonder, Mango the crocodile is settled on the sand like a sleeping emerald, barely stirring beneath the starlight. I wonder if he ever gets lonely out here just watching the tide creep in and out. Quietly, Boba the duck just stands there, watching the brilliance of these stars blaze across the velvet night. Staring at the stars, I recall the sheer relief of getting that fire going. You must keep your core dry or the chill will take you before a ship even sights you. Remember that first sputtering flame? How it danced like a caged bird when I finally got it going. Hey there, Loki. You are looking awfully curious tonight, aren't you? A fine little explorer, just like a passing sailor. Suddenly, a gentle flash of iridescent color catches my eye. Look at that magnificent parrot, just perched on a branch. You seem quite pleased to see me, little fellow. Whispering to myself, I trace the outline of the distant reef against the deep black. It feels like the edge of the world, where God's boundless blue meets the mystery. Gazing out now, the stars are scattered like spilled salt across black velvet. It makes me think of the perfect, crystalline dusting Marja keeps on the icons. Smell of clean linen, man, so different from the wood smoke and the salt I baked into every single thread of my clothes. Distant light spills from the horizon, like the gleam of 1,000 polished coins tossed into the tide. I remember standing in this city where the noise a physical thing, a great, pulsing wave against my chest. Everything was so scheduled then, the clatter of carriage wheels, the precise ringing of the town clock. It was a strange, electric, but utterly unlike the ocean's slow rhythm. Oh, for just a simple, reliable flick of a switch to banish this vast, star-dusted dark for a little while. Rocky, you approach so softly, like a thought drifting across still water. You possess the quiet dignity of the island's very spirit. Across the beach, the sand catches the starlight like spilled sugar, a gentle dusting across the dark expanse. Breathtakingly still the air feels like the quiet before a grand hymn begins. I should really carve a little shrine for Mama here. Quietly, Coco the chicken struts near the edge, tilting its head as if pondering the infinite glitter above us all. Curious Zuza just strolled up close, blinking slowly at me. What does a creature like you want to know, little friend? Oh bye, you are making quite an entrance tonight. You certainly carry yourself like a king surveying his forgotten kingdom. Over yonder, the fire pit glows like a captured heart, keeping the creeping shadows at bay tonight. Wooden frame, that's what I'm laying out next. A proper cottage will keep out the night's damp and show passing sailors what permanence looks like. Little crab skulls near the tide line, pausing to look up at me. You always seem to know the best little corners to hide in, don't you? Misha, you walk through the falling snow so gracefully. When the ship comes, I promise you, Wilson, I won't leave you stranded here with me. Hark, those two foxes darting through the white curtain. What a spirited chase, like rivals vying for the last piece of sweet bread. Snowflakes drift down, making my little dock look like a stage set for a grand arrival. Lil Zeus wanders right up to my boots, blinking slowly in the falling snow. You seem awfully comfortable in this white blanket, Lil Pig. White powder settles on the palm fronds like powdered sugar, making the whole jumble look like a forgotten painting. Oh, Wilson, even you must admit this snowfall is quite a spectacle, isn't it? Starlight catches a flash of iridescent blue near the undergrowth. Hey there, parrot. You look like you've seen more horizons than I have in all my years. Brilliant stripes on Bruno really catch the sunlight like polished mahogany. I wonder where you even learned to walk, friend. Sunny rays warm my shoulders, reminding me of the endless, slow passage of time. Wilson. Siggy, you stand so tall, like a monument to misplaced patience. Sweet skipper, you dive so easily into the turquoise shallows. You always look like you've got the ocean's secrets tucked right under your little fins. This white blanket is turning the whole place into a confusing, silent dream. Wilson, I swear I can barely see the outline of my own hand out here. Crystal dust coats everything, turning the jungle edge into a landscape of forgotten sugar. Keep moving. Boy, we need to find some shelter before this chill sets in. Last night, when the cold bit through the palm leaves, I dreamt of a bus.
Subscribe and ring the bell.